iTunes Radio, and the TuneIn app. The duo is in the building. Clement Townsend, along with Antoine Walker, NBA champion with the Miami Heat and NCAA champion with the Kentucky Wildcats. Antoine, we just a couple of days away. We had to plug it off top. SouthSide Heat live show. Get your tickets. Come on, folks. Show your support.
Yes, sir. This Sunday, man. Sunday night. First live show we've ever done. Looking forward to it. That was a nice introduction. Make sure you say that introduction for me Sunday too. That was nice. You ain't gave me a proper introduction in a long time. I
give you the same introduction every week, bro.
Well, it seemed like I felt like the energy was in.
A little bit more emphasis.
Man, the energy was there finally. I like the fact you had a little energy.
But when we have live people in attendance, when we have a live crowd, you know I'll bring the energy in. I think before you said you kind of feed off the energy. You do some work with the SEC network. Mm-hmm. I think you all sometimes have a live crowd. Media days, I don't know if this time was it some live sets that you all did?
Yeah, but after that it's just studio.
Okay.
So you got to make your own energy.
True indeed. But when you got people in the crowd, it's like a different feeling. And we got to have those fire topics. I'm thinking about a couple things in my head. We're going to have to go over some things. We're going to have to bring it for the people because, some people, they may come out to see you, but they never heard the show, so they have to be entertained.
That's true. We definitely got to put some nice topics out there, man, some relationship topics.
Okay.
We know, obviously, we don't get into the sports, the hot and heavies that people hear about every day. But, give them a little perspective, man. You're a married man.
You the single guy?
I'm the single guy. I got some interesting takes about the holiday. We're going to say that for Sunday.
Okay.
So, we'll see what happens.
We might have to dip into that Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian. That's not for this show. But Khloe spent Thanksgiving with Tristan and not the Kardashian family. I don't know if you heard that.
No, I saw that.
You saw that?
I follow Tristan Thompson on
Instagram.
And
he posted a picture.
He posted a pic and showed Khloe. But I didn't like her outfit, what she was wearing. I don't know if you really peeped that.
I didn't peep that at
all.
I
like her outfit. She had like a dress on past her knees, super tight. When you go into a black family house for Thanksgiving, you do not dress like that. You know what I mean?
What was wrong? It was too provocative?
Yeah, she was like really done up. Like you go on a trip, you go into the house, you chill. This is, put your
nice. This is Kardashian though. Every time you step out, it's photos to be had. So I have to be, to a T made up every time I'm out. It's a holiday. Like what you mean? You wanted to be
this among the family. You want to be comfortable. You want the family to accept. You want to be bougie with the family.
That's the Kardashian way. Like this keeping up with the Kardashians. It's probably gonna be a camera crew. Like, what I mean? They show is still going on as far as I know. So it's cameras, it's pictures, it's photos.
I'm just saying you're going to obviously that looks like they're working on a future together, and you're going to the family. Every time you're gonna be dressed up. Let me see you a little sometimes without your makeup on. She could put some nice.
So you wanted to have sweats on? You wanted to have some Lululemon?
Okay, what you do on Thanksgiving? If you didn't go to nobody else's house. You at your house and you got people over. You gonna put on what you putting on?
Relaxing, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want your wife? Your wife gonna put on? If your wife gonna put on a dress like she going to the club, what you gonna do?
I hear you, but you saying if I was at home,
she got to fix plates. But she got the baby.
But Khloe not fixing no damn plates. Like this the Kardashians.
Come on, man. Like,
you don't even wash your own drawers, and you talking about Khloe fixing plates? What we talking about here?
Listen. So you trying to tell me she can't fix a plate?
This is Khloe Kardashian. I'm trying to tell you she's not fixing a plate.
You're going way too far.
You think Khloe
Rob,
fixing...
you going to sit over there and just let him go with this and say she can't fix a plate?
You think she fixing who plate? Tristan
She got to fix his plate, yeah.
If she truly wants to be a member
I will fall out of my chair. I will fall out of my chair.
So you telling me Kim Kardashian's never fixed Kanye West a plate?
Yes, she has. You know she has.
I'm pretty
on a rare occasion. But back to this topic, I will bet 20,000 that Khloe did not fix Tristan's plate on Thanksgiving. Tristan was just happy
I
that Chloe was
guarantee-
there. Tristan was just happy that she showed up because it was a backlash. What you mean? The
been
whole
a while.
Kardashian family was upset that she wasn't kicking it with
I
them.
guarantee-
They was in like L.A. and she was in like Cleveland.
Clement.
So the fact that she came was enough.
Clement, you're wrong about this. I promise you're wrong.
You think Chloe is fixing the plate? You think she cutting turkey and asking him how much dressing you
She
want?
at the house?
Tristan, you want more macaroni?
Yes,
She at the house?
Yes, she's at the house.
She in Cleveland.
And I was she had a dress on. She was overdressed for Thanksgiving.
That let you know she wasn't in a plate fixing mood. That wasn't a plate fixing outfit. That let you know what she was about. I'm just here for the photos and for our daughter.
Listen, man.
Well, what's
I don't care
is
who
it true?
she is. She got to
Is it
fix my
true?
plate.
I think it is.
I don't care who she is. She got to fix my plate. Now, come on now. Come on. I don't care who she is.
My wife did fix my plate on Thanksgiving, so she did do that.
Your wife
but
fixed your plate?
She did.
Okay.
She did. But like this 2018, boss, for real, they do a lot of that stuff down south. But a lot of these new independent women, y'all better be real. A lot of that don't be happening no more in 2018.
Man, look, man. She came on the black side of the world, buddy.
Right.
She fixed the
But
plate.
time out. I don't know for sure, and
She
let me know if you know
got
for
talked about
sure.
like a dog for
I
not
don't
doing it.
even know if like it was an extended family. Like, was it just not Tristan and Chloe? Was it a small intimate thing? Like you thinking like you went to your mom's house, I went to my dad's house. Was it extended? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it a big family Thanksgiving? We don't even know that.
So you think she just wanted him and the baby? Now I couldn't see all that on Instagram, but
Right.
He did kind of show the food.
You saw that? Okay,
Yeah,
I just saw the pose with the one
I
child.
saw the food. I saw her in the kitchen. He showed her walking. He called her like beautiful or something, but she had a full dress on, man. Come on, man. We ain't gonna let that happen like that. She fixing plates, buddy. So you don't think on a soft Tuesday night they sit in the crib?
No,
She ain't making no tacos.
They not even together on a soft Tuesday night. This was a thing. The fact that she went to Cleveland, I don't even think they, you know what I mean, together like that. Like this was a holiday, and she wanted their new child to be with their dad, so she went ahead and did that. But I don't even really think they, you know what I mean, regular like that.
All right, man. All right. I'm gonna take your word for it, but she fixing plates. She fixing some plates, Clement.
I wanted to see if they had some details, because you know everybody's all in the Kardashians' business about how many people was at the whole Thanksgiving dinner, that sort of thing.
At the Kardashians' house?
Right? They was at Tristan's house. Tristan's house.
So let me ask you a question. We know at the Kardashians' house, we know they're gonna have a chef cook all the food and
Right.
have Thanksgiving like that. Do you think Tristan family cooked? Or
Come on, man.
Or did they go chef style?
Come on, man. You tell me. This dude in the NBA, he got a new contract a couple years ago. You tell me.
What that mean?
That mean folks that's
I
paying
played 13
full.
years in the NBA. My mom cooked every year. What that mean?
When you was with Boston and
My
you said
mom
you would,
cooked
because
every year.
you told me sometimes you would like have to fly them out.
Yeah, but when I was on holidays, my mom cooked.
So when mom came to the house, she still cooked.
Yeah, she's still grocery shopping and cooking. I'm just asking what you think Tristan Thompson did.
I think that thing was catered, bro. That's hands down. I think they Thanksgiving was catered.
So you rolling with them being catered.
Hands down. Hands down. Hands down.
You rolling with them being bougie all the way to the T.
All of this keeping up with the Kardashians, man. That's what
just
they hold.
one person though. She in his environment
It's
with his family.
See, but that's the thing. We don't know.
So
we don't know that.
Why you say they're not together?
Because with the whole Tristan stepping out on her when she was pregnant.
So she's still playing it out.
I don't think they've ever truly mended that fence. I think she's trying to, for the sake of their daughter, you know what I mean, she's trying to kind of make it work so the daughter's father, the baby's name is True, so True's father will be in her life.
What that got to do with them being together though?
What do you mean?
Like you don't have to be together to do that.
And then what you?
She's just trying to make it work, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
saying.
saying.
Wait a minute, you said we talking about the Kardashians.
I think they're together.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't been following that story. Like I said,
Okay.
I follow him on Instagram. Just as a normal me, I try to follow all about the ball players for the most part to keep up with what's going on in the world. But I believe they're still together. The way he was doing on Instagram, it seemed like they were together.
And then we talking about a Kardashian. Have you seen her with any other star or basketball player that's
And really, I ain't met one person, or we ain't seen one person leave the Kardashians. They leave you. The Kardashians leave you. You don't leave them. I'm waiting. I'm listening.
No, I'm trying to investigate this Thanksgiving dinner, and I guess Tristan put out, or source said, Chloe put together an incredible Thanksgiving dinner in Cleveland with Tristan. So that to me,
that means that she hired a great chef.
Right.
That's what I read from that. That's what I inferred.
You didn't think you don't think Chloe got in the kitchen to cook?
Come on, man. So now I'm.
So you saying none of these Kardashian women, including the mom, none of them can cook?
Do they look like they have any type of what's the word for when you like homely or whatever?
No.
What's the word I'm looking for?
They don't.
Huh?
They superficial.
What's the word I'm looking for when you like take care of your family and you do things in the kitchen and you cook and clean? They don't look like they had that inclination.
What?
They don't look like they have that inclination
At all?
Nah.
At all? So you don't have them cooking.
They're not homemakers.
You don't have them cooking, cleaning.
As for Chloe's family,
So they sleep with their makeup on. They take it off.
Nah.
Now we know they got the coldest plastic surgeons in the world. They have babies and 2 weeks later they look the same. So they cut themselves up like a knife now. They got the cold surgeons.
That's true.
They do.
They got the best in Hollywood. So we can't mess with.
So you don't think any Kardashian is domesticated at all?
That's the
word.
Yeah, it's domestic. Yeah, they not domestic. They not domestic. Yeah.
So you don't think Kim Kardashian makes Kanye a sandwich from every now and again?
Now we talking a sandwich and cooking.
I'm about at 2:00 in the morning. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go downstairs and make you a sandwich. You don't think she does that?
I really don't think so, man. Like I really don't think so. They don't
Look,
catch.
okay,
They pay in full. Antoine, you know better than any of us, bro. They pay in full. Antoine, you talked about you done had chefs before, and Kanye and Kim both paid in full. And you my man and all, but I think they may have made a little bit more money than you. You my man. So all I'm saying on that is they don't have to lay a finger, bro.
Do she change up the baby diapers?
Does Chloe? Yeah, I think Chloe changed diapers. Now that's something you can do. But they got a nanny. Hands down, they got a nanny, and she's not 100% changing diapers though. Hands down, like she would do it every now and then.
Does the Kardashians change their baby's diapers? That's a great topic. That's a great topic.
All right, man, that's enough on the Kardashians, man.
That's a
like y'all done went over the allotted time limit. This wasn't even a topic on the rundown. Like we were just talking about a little bit about relationships.
But I mean, but basically,
like we done went on and on. We ain't even got into any basketball. Y'all
That's
folks,
just because you refuse to believe that Chloe made him a plate on Thanksgiving.
Let me get back to Thanksgiving for a second.
Okay.
I mean, not to, stay on this too long.
It's
but
all good.
You just said so. Let's get off the Kardashians. So let's go with a typical Black Thanksgiving. Who fixes the plate? The wife, right?
Absolutely.
So she fixed the first one. You fixed the second one.
Did I? I did get my my seconds. Absolutely, I did do that on my own at Thanksgiving. And
So
it was some black folks involved at this Kardashian household. I know we moved away from that, but yeah.
I told you that she went to the families, that she was
right, but I don't see no OGs in this
but
joint.
She was
like I don't see no elders,
man.
I don't see no moms and no grandmoms
at
on
some
this.
point,
Mama and grandmama don't want to be in all them pictures.
And to answer your questions,
yeah.
Listen, when you got money, you take away a lot of the domestic stuff that you may do.
Okay.
So, I'm not gonna wash my own clothes.
Right.
I'm not gonna clean my own place. That's things I'm gonna fix me some food sometime. Now, when I was planning, I had to be in tip-top shape. I had a chef.
Right.
So that was the time that I did. I didn't have a chef just for leisure time in the summertime when I need to lock in and get myself together for the season. I'll go ahead and hire a chef for a month or two.
So when you had a chef and when you had female company and y'all was hanging out, was that female required to make you a sandwich or some tacos, or did the chef do that?
No, it depends.
Oh.
When I had the chef,
right,
I don't like leftovers.
Okay.
So if I got to eat my food hot, so he wasn't allowed to make me something, then I warm it up. I didn't like leftovers.
Right.
So if I had a young lady over, or female I was dealing with, yeah, she had to make me a sandwich.
But you got a chef though.
It don't matter. Let me tell you. So like when I was in the relationship, I used to come off the road. Right. Get in at 2, 3 in the morning. Right. I used to tell my girl, like, listen, man, fry me some chicken and have me a Caesar salad with it. I'm gonna get in at 3. Fry me some chicken and have me a Caesar salad ready when I get in.
Okay.
I mean, you got to do some work around there too now, Clement. I mean,
A little bit.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I don't know how you run your household. I know. You got the apron on. I just want to know, but you my man. If you got the apron on, I get it.
Do you think? Let me ask you this. Do you think I had an apron on?
Well,
I try to help
yes.
out where I can. I put it like that. I try to help out where I can. If my wife is working late, then me and my daughter have to eat. But am I making a full 3-course meal? No, I'm not. You know, I could put some ground beef and beans in a crock pot and make some chili. You know.
Okay then. So if you land in bed 9, 10 o'clock, you watch a nice show, you and your wife.
My wife sleeps, so you don't even have to go there. She's sleeping.
Oh, so you don't have the ability to get up and tell her to fix you a sandwich.
She's sleeping.
You want a little ham and cheese at that
She's
time.
sleeping.
You can't get you no ham and cheese.
She's sleeping. The kitchen is closed at that point.
Okay.
In terms of her doing something like that, because trying to do something like that, that's gonna hurt me later on in other areas that I'm not really.
But I got some friends that I got.
That's gonna hurt me in other areas. So
Hey, look,
I'm not willing to sacrifice.
right, the risk of asking her for a ham and cheese versus the downside of later on when I tap on the shoulder. See,
Right.
you got to know what's what.
So okay,
You feel me?
I like that.
You gotta know what's
I
what.
like that. But you ain't got to tap the shoulder. You can do other things in the bed to get that going. But this is a PG show.
Right.
It's a PG show.
But if you woke her up asking her about a ham and cheese sandwich, you better not even do no other things either, because I don't want to do that. I got to go to work in the morning.
Okay.
My head hurt.
Hey, the limitations are out there. Okay, I got you. I got that.
Go ahead on with that.
Now I got some friends that some male friends that think they great cooks. So a lot of them like to wear the apron. Now I don't know if they like to wear the apron because they think that's gonna win a woman over, but they always. I got some friends. I ain't gonna name no names. You know what I mean? Back when we started in the cigar bar.
Okay.
I got some friends in the cigar bar. They was going through. We got a little group text that we go through. They was putting up their cooking pictures.
Okay.
I ain't really like that. I don't like. Don't send me a pic of your salmon and asparagus that you made. I don't see that.
They send it to you on the gram or a text message or what?
No, in the group chat. Like they just got through cooking. Like they just got through burning the kitchen down.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know about if you're gonna do something for your lady on the sly. You know what I'm saying? When I come in, I eat me a ham and cheese sandwich. I ain't gonna take a picture of it and shoot it to the group. Ham and cheese. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that. But we got a few people that do that. Send they salmon and with asparagus, they garlic bread with they baked chicken.
I want some comments, man. Like I know it's people chiming in. Folks just laughing. Just scroll through the comments. Like no, for real. As we talk about Thanksgiving, as we talk about food, I just want to see if there's any insight. What people saying out there in terms of this whole Thanksgiving, black family. Who's wearing an apron? Do we got anything worth knowing?
Somebody said the Kardashians has never lifted a finger.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I appreciate you, whoever that is. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He said, ain't no Kardashian touching no dish, cooking food.
It's not happening. It's not. You thought I was crazy. I appreciate the people chiming in. They agreeing with me.
Now, somebody said that Reggie Bush left Kim. Did Reggie Bush?
He did.
Did Reggie Bush leave Kim?
See, he did. Okay, I don't get into how the Reggie Bush. Who was James Harden with?
He just hit Chloe.
Yeah.
James, he just hit Chloe.
It kept it moving.
Well, now he was hitting her, but this is the problem with James. See, that's an interesting story.
Okay.
Because Lamar Odom went through that
Right,
period right there.
near-death experience.
Near-death experience. So she felt obligated because she was married to him. And I'm pretty sure she fake loved him. So she wanted to.
She fake loved who?
Lamar. She fake loved him. So she went.
Because he was like, sick and whatever
Right.
in a
So
bad situation.
she was flying back and forth trying to stay with James. And I think James, the basketball world, kind of told James.
Like, come on, bro. What you
stand
doing?
down, bro.
What you doing?
I just felt like he felt like the pressure from the basketball world. Stand down. Yeah.
I can see that.
And then it kind of just faded. She would stay at the hospital, and then I think eventually she kind of moved around from the hospital. But I got a problem. I mean, come on now. I got a problem with all that, man.
All what?
Yeah, I mean the sharing.
Like
NBA
like if Lamar
the
had
NBA
her,
and the
Chloe
share,
had
yeah,
her, etc. Like with Kim.
It's like Clement, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you man, but I ain't going behind you.
Okay.
I ain't going behind you, Rob. Or I just
Like
you know, my
Reg-
guys. Like I don't want to go behind y'all.
Reggie had Kim. She was married to the dude Chris
Yeah.
Humphries,
Yeah.
and now Kanye just, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
married, locked it down,
Ray,
kids.
don't forget Ray J.
Oh, but that was like a James Harden. Like I don't think that was no relationship. That was just the tape and the, you know what I mean, the jump off.
Even worse.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is going behind.
Footage.
Yeah. Now, did you hear? And we all off topic, man. I don't know if we ever gonna get into basketball, but he talked about the Ray J and the Kim. Now you heard it came out
she blamed it
recently.
on the pills.
She was on E. She
Yeah.
was on E when she
Yeah.
made the tape. You heard that?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not gonna lie, man. I went on and looked at that. I went on and watched it again, man. I ain't gonna even lie, man. I went on and watched the sex tape again. I ain't really want to come out with that. I had to just see her eyes. I just wanted to look in her eyes and see if did it have the ecstasy eyes.
And what did you think?
Man.
He stopped paying attention to her eyes.
He said I couldn't really look.
Man,
I got distracted. I couldn't really see the eyes.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Kim straight. I don't know if
So you said you don't want to go behind, but then when you see the behind, you like,
He's talking
well,
about more of a relationship status. Like,
But no, I look, you know what I'm saying? I had to go. I watched the tape. I went on Pornhub, start, picked her out, checked her on out. She looked like she was straight. I don't know.
you not believe
now,
that?
she might have had a little Hennessy.
Okay.
But now it's no ecstasy.
Not the E.
No.
Like
No.
she probably wasn't sober.
And then really, I don't even give her credit for that.
Yeah.
The tape was actually beneficiary for you, and now you want to kind of downplay my man Ray J like he gave you some, or he was on drugs or something like that, or that's what y'all did, pop pills. Like, don't put that out there like that.
Okay.
It's other parts of that story. Don't do that. My man had the Hennessy, or you was a little freaky deaky. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got a little freak in you. He was like, man, let's film us a session.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The phones was just really getting out there. Put the video out there. Let's film a session. We all know it's a lot of women out here that like to get film, or a lot of guys that like to film they work. And he filmed his work.
So
And
you used to be on that back in the day?
on the film, that ain't really my thing, Clem. I'm more of a private dancer in the bedroom.
He's more of a private dancer.
I keep things very basic and social. I think that's why all my chicks leave me, because I don't really got no. I gotta get that freak in me, like film them. And that ain't really my thing, though.
Did they ever request?
I be,
like, hey,
you know, I be scared of that footage coming out, man. You know, these phones.
You already know. You already know R. Kelly.
Scared for.
You already know R. Kelly. You already know. That footage get released.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think there ain't nothing wrong with it, though. If it's like you and your wife, or somebody you dealing with seriously, and y'all got that type of relationship where y'all trust each other.
Got to be a lot of trust.
Yeah, I'm saying.
My wife ain't about that life. Not about that life. I think she trusts me, but she don't trust me like
sure
that.
she trusts you.
But she don't trust me like that though.
I think if she listens to this show, I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna help her out.
Okay.
Come home one day, y'all get to like year 20.
He said year 20. I don't want to film then, bro. Year 20. You talking 10 years from
So
now.
what you trying to say? She still ain't gonna be beautiful?
Slow down, man.
See?
You put me in a bad spot. Yeah, you put me in a predicament right there.
Just say, you might want to, have something for the anniversary. It might be your birthday. You might say, man. Now, what if your wife brought it to you, Clement? Would you do it?
Now that's the question.
What if wifey come home and say, man, let's film this thing. What you gonna do?
I'm about that life then. Let's do it.
Okay.
If you coming to the table with it, then that must you really be trying to,
All right.
put on a show or something.
Like you can't be filming and this thing
that's
is
one of
gonna be
them, don't threaten me with a
rudimentary.
good time.
You know what I'm saying? Like this must be a special night. So what brother what husband that's turning down special nights? That's not happening. That's not happening around my way, where I'm from. The South Side, we not turning down special nights.
Yeah.
All right, so man, we 25 minutes in. We all off topic. Haven't talked about any NBA basketball, so we might as well get to the Dwight Howard thing.
Uh-oh. Now that's a segue. Goodness gracious.
If you haven't heard by now,
Yeah, please.
Everybody
please,
take a deep breath on that one.
Please get a story.
there was a gay gentleman on Twitter. I won't even release his name. I'll call him John Doe. He says he met Dwight Howard and they eventually struck up some type of relationship, quote unquote relationship. They would chat back and forth on Instagram. John Doe actually uploaded some of the DMs on Twitter as verification. John Doe also uploaded some of the chats, some of the voice recordings on Twitter for verification. And John Doe believed that Dwight Howard was attending transgender sex parties and confronted Dwight Howard about that. Obviously, Dwight denied those allegations, and John Doe, the gay man, was upset and has since been receiving threats from someone that John Doe believes is Dwight's pastor, a gentleman by the name of Calvin. So, allegedly, Dwight was threatening, or somebody from Dwight's camp didn't want this to get out. And the woman believes, or the gay man, believes that his life has been threatened. That's certainly unacceptable, no matter what the case is, to threaten somebody's life, and you don't know who you messing with. That sort of thing is not to be taken lightly. It's a couple of different viewpoints on this story. A lot of people really point to the fact that allegedly Dwight Howard was threatening somebody's life, and that's why some gay people don't want to come out, and that's why some athletes don't want to come out, because of the backlash and how people will perceive them. So it's Dwight Howard's story and Dwight Howard threatening somebody. The threats are wrong. I don't want to sweep that under the rug. Threatening somebody's life is absolutely wrong. But the Dwight Howard's sexual orientation, that part shocked me a little bit, Antoine.
Well, I don't know if you know the Dwight Howard story, but Dwight Howard comes from a very religious family.
I do know that. He went to a Christian high school and went straight from high school to the NBA.
He got a religious family. Now, the thing that was weird about the story, and not saying this can't happen, Dwight Howard, if I'm not mistaken, we could look it up, Dwight Howard has anywhere between 6 to 8 kids. So,
okay.
And you know what I mean? So I don't, so that like was the red flag one for me. And not saying that you can't, that can't have, you still can't be gay and have kids, but he has, I think 6 to 8, something like that. He's got a lot of kids.
5 children, it looks like.
It's 5. I know he had. I know someone there. So he's got 5 kids. I don't know Dwight.
There are unverified claims that he has even more. So he could have different more.
Right.
And I'm seeing it as 5 with 5 different women too.
So I always, and now the flip side to this, where I always take it when a guy has a lot of kids, that rubs me like you sex you just sex your thing.
You like to get it in.
Yeah, you like to get it in.
Okay.
So when you like to get it in, you try things now. When you like to get it in now.
Whoa.
No, I'm serious. When you like to get it in.
It's a lot of guys that like to get it in and strictly like to get it in with women. So I'm not sure I can equate the fact that you like to get it in that I'm going to experience other stuff. Go ahead.
And then the other part to it, what bothers me, it's guys that play with him. And it's not enough. To me, it's not enough guys stepping up. And not saying like there's enough guys coming out and defending him.
Okay. That's
what bothers me too.
But
if guys that play with him know him around the locker room, you know whatever, you know a guy's mannerisms, even though a guy can hide it, but if you're around him enough, it's gonna be a telltale. You're gonna be able to see some signs.
That's like I was telling Clement when the story first broke. And the fact that people aren't stepping up and aren't saying anything, does that lead to being like, well, maybe they do know something and they have known something, and that's why he's not been welcome on a lot of different teams with certain individuals. I mean, it's a lot of different ways you can look at the situation.
Right.
Even with him having a lot of kids, if he might be overcompensating for something. You know, that's the perfect cloak. I got a lot of kids.
And then too, and not to be defensive, you know, I always think when there's a lie being told about you and you want to get the truth out, I mean, you make a statement.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't made a statement. He's not playing right now. It's affecting the team. They brought him in to be a big part of their team. So the situation is all bad right now.
Yeah. The fact that he hasn't made a statement, what does that lead you to believe?
I don't know, Clement. It's tough for me. I mean, we know these things happen, but it's tough for me to say either way because I don't know him well enough. I've played against Dwight Howard. I have never hung out with him. He's one of the few guys I haven't hung out in the league with, so I don't really know him personally.
This is the SouthSide Heat, man. What does your gut tell you?
My gut don't tell me nothing because I let you read the story. My first thing that came to me, I was like, damn, he got a lot of kids.
Right.
No, that like jumped at me like, no, it seemed like he into chicks. Then the other thing that grabbed me, I was looking around on Instagram and kind of follow story. Nobody was really defending him.
Right.
And then he didn't say anything.
Right. So if you were straight and this was a lie, you would think somebody from the Lakers, the Rockets, Orlando, somebody would say, nah, Dwight not like that. Right. I done hung out with Dwight.
That's what I said. I would think somebody would come out and defend it.
So the fact that hasn't...
The lack of guys that have been around you, been in the locker room.
Because he been on, what, 6 teams, 7 teams? Let me look it up.
You know, you kick it with a guy, you around a guy 7, 8 months, you get to know him. You know what I mean? You kind of know his tendencies and certain things he want to do, where he want to party at, where he going at, when he go out to dinner. You know what I mean? You know all these things. So when nobody's defending you, you gotta put it on the side that maybe.
See, even on the defending side, because like I was saying, this is a multi-layered subject, and there's so many different angles you can take from it. With the way that stuff's been moving, as far as people commenting on gay people or bisexual people or whatever, some people just might not want to touch it, because if you come out and say, oh, he ain't like that, you might get some backlash like, oh, so it would be something wrong with him if he was, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's so many different ways.
It's a sensitive subject.
It's real sensitive, and I see why a lot of people don't want to touch it, because it's like, just on a man level, like, you don't want to speculate on another man's sexuality without getting verification from them.
Yeah.
But if, you know, in this age of social media and the way all the information is out, if it's pointing to that way.
This the SouthSide Heat, man. I gotta keep it real.
Which way you going? You go ahead. Take the.
Oh, you already
take the leap of faith.
You already know which way I'm going, man.
Take the stance, big fella.
I think this has some legs.
Okay.
I can't say everything that she said is true. I don't know about these parties and all that other stuff.
But the relationship part,
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say about the and I got the air quotes.
Having dealings.
Yeah. I got the air quotes for y'all can't see me from you. The relationship. I don't know about relationship, but to say that Dwight Howard may have tried some things, like I guess you were kind of saying that, to say that Dwight Howard may have experimented, I wouldn't be surprised now. Now, I wouldn't, that may be true. That I would lean on that side of the fence that Dwight Howard may have experimented.
It's a tough thing because now, man, you got to come in the locker room. You got to be around the guys. They looking at you crazy. Right. They want to know what's going on. So I mean, it's tough, man.
Take me there. And I was going to say this for Sunday, and we have gone there a little bit. In the locker room, do guys really get into relationship stuff? Like, man, bro, but not in the Tristan thing, but man, bro, I saw you left the club last night with Shorty, man.
Right.
What went down on that, boy? I saw you in that VIP.
You gotta think about a locker room like this. So it's like if we go out and we meet some chicks, the next day I'm telling you what happened.
Right. Okay.
Whether I scored or whether I not, and if I scored, I'm giving you detail. Right. Man, she was. She was.
So it goes down.
It's going down the locker room.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. So when the story broke about Superhead, y'all remember Superhead, right?
Yeah, Corinne Steffens.
Okay. I don't know a government name, but Superhead. So when it came out about Superhead, right? They had one of my teammates in that thing. They had my man Shaq.
Oh yeah.
They had big fella on the list of
her conquests
of her opponents. Next day, guys at him. Hey, big fella, what's up with Superhead? How was the head? You know what I'm saying? So, and Shaq did it, and Shaq had fun with it. I remember Shaq telling us, like, man, I gave her some money. I ain't give her what she said. I think in the book she said Shaq gave her like $10,000. I think he told us it was $6,000. He said he felt bad for her. She ain't had no furniture, if I'm not mistaken. Her furniture wasn't right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's more like a charitable donation.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but we want to know details.
Yeah.
What makes Superhead? That's what we want to know.
Is she really that good?
Was it worth the $6,000?
Right. We
$6,000?
No, she was. Now you looked at them. Now you remember she was getting 10s, 20s. She put in the book what she was getting.
Yeah.
You remember that? So, but Shaq made light of it. Had fun with it with the guys. Guys teased him about it. It wasn't a big deal. See, that's what I'm saying. For Dwight Howard coming in that situation into the locker room, are guys having fun with it? Are they playing around? Is he addressing it? Right. How is he acting?
Because if they start joking, that might start a fight. If he, you know what I'm saying, like, because that's real deep.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying what is he doing?
Right.
That's the thing about Dwight Howard. We don't see it, but maybe doing something in the locker room. Man, y'all see that bullshit, or you know what I mean? He could be doing something to kind of downplay that. I'm telling you, with your teammates, you got to, because you play. We play with some. Depending on who you play with, they gonna ask you now in front of the team.
Like somebody, it's got to be a real guy on the team that's gonna say, "Hey, Dwight, what's the deal, man? Let us know."
I ain't gonna lie, you'll be like, man, I don't want to take my towel off, bro. What's up, man? Talk to me.
Like they gonna make jokes, but they serious though.
They serious, but they trying to get.
Hey, Dwight, stop looking at me like that, man.
Right.
For real.
They gonna like I can't see nobody. I can see somebody trying to get it out of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's tough to have us go through, and then you're not on the court.
And you're not on the court
because you're saying your glutes hurt, right?
That's it.
He got a buttocks injury.
That's it.
That's terrible.
It's allegations about you going the other way and you out with a butt injury.
Seriousness though, if let's say he's sitting back struggling with it right now, and he has to come out and say it, or he does. Is he ready to be?
No. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Because he's immediately going to shoot to the top of the list.
That's not happening.
You don't think so?
He's not doing that.
He's
not owning up to that. Not happening. Even if it is true.
I mean,
he's not owning up. Not happening. Not happening. Not Dwight Howard.
To Clement's point, I think Clement, and he is allowing us in the world to believe it's got legs to it by not addressing it. Not saying he owes anybody anything.
Not at all.
But when you're out not playing, you know it's going to come up when he addresses the media. I watched Washington play. You didn't see him sitting on the bench. I did see Scott Brooks make comments about Dwight's doing everything in his power to get back on the court, and he'll be back on the court soon. But you got to be around the guys on the road. Now, you know what I mean? It can get ugly.
So it's gonna be a constant wonder or question until it's addressed.
Yeah, eventually he's gonna have to, address it.
I don't think so, dude, because here's the thing. No real media outlets have really reported this.
Because
they're not going to.
You know why not? They're not. Come on now. That subject.
Right.
We know that subject is very sensitive.
So
that's why I say you can go ahead. I don't want to go there. It's a sensitive subject.
So therefore, no beat reporter, nobody from TNT or ESPN, since it's so sensitive, nobody is going to ask that question. So that's why I feel like he won't have to address it, because no legitimate media outlet is going to really ask that in the locker room, or certainly not in a press conference.
And yet they're not. And I mean, that's the tough part about it, is that they're not. I mean, they're not going to ask anything, and his teammates have got to. He can be quiet with them too. He can just act like they're none of their business.
But that's just like an elephant in the room.
But I know that it's like it's hard, and I just think you're around guys 7, 8 months. I mean, something's gonna come out. You're gonna have a bad day of practice. I mean, anything can go on.
And who's the Draymond on the team? He'd be like, "Man, I know you ain't talking to me." Right. When, you know what I'm saying? It just come out.
It could go.
Even in play.
It could go a lot of ways, man.
Ooh-wee.
And then also too,
trash talk. Was somebody trash talking him about that?
Back,
Was somebody trash talking about that? Is that fair game? Like Kevin Garnett.
When you get stuff like this happens in the papers, man, and I always tell people we always forget about everybody's kids. His kids of age. I don't think he has no super baby, so they know what's going on with technology. The way these kids have these phones, the way these kids are playing with these tablets. You don't think they Googling Daddy every now and
They
then?
know it went viral. They the first one.
Google that. It was all over Twitter. Like, you know, I
I'm
text
just-
you.
right.
It wasn't happening on Twitter. So if they was on Twitter that night,
And
I'm
that's
just
the
saying,
thing,
so-
Clement. Like the big media outlets are not covering it, but it's viral in the streets. The streets
Yep.
are talking.
right, but he won't
You
have
don't
to
need your big media.
right, but he won't have to address it though because nobody's gonna bring it to him. So the
Right.
streets could talk, but that's what I'm saying. He won't have to answer questions on camera about it. That was my point about it.
Yeah, he won't. And it,
Or on a tape recorder or an internet, whatever.
Hopefully everybody come out Sunday. We're gonna
Right.
continue. This topic will be to be continued.
You want to run
might
that
as
back
well.
on Sunday too?
I mean, it's up for discussion. It's up for discussion, maybe.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some real basketball?
Yeah.
Because like we 40 minutes in and haven't talked about any real basketball.
I'm ready to go, baby. You know we want to talk about some basketball.
Yeah, one thing, and this is basketball specific, but I sent you the article about LeBron James ignoring Luke Walton. I believe it was an excerpt from a story from Brian Windhorst of ESPN, and of course Rajon Rondo has broken his hand. Therefore, LeBron has the ball in his hands as a playmaker a lot more. And the excerpt from the story is when James is running the point guard, he rarely looks towards the bench to receive play calls from Luke Walton. Even when he has seen them, the scouts say, these are scouts reports, LeBron ignores them and runs the play he prefers. Walton has adjusted, and now when James is running the show, Walton will typically just let him call the game. That's one thing. Number two, and you can take them together, Zach LaVine and the end of the Bulls game versus the Spurs. When the Bulls were down 1, Fred Hoiberg repeatedly called for Wendell Carter to set a screen. LaVine waved him off and ended up taking a tough contested 3 when the Bulls were down by 1 and they lost the game. So my question is, how often is it common, is it a big deal when coaches want something and players just wave them off? And is there a status level to that? I feel LeBron can do what he wants to do. LeBron been to the finals 8 straight years, 3 titles, Luke Walton, of course. Zach LaVine, on the other hand, waving off Fred. LaVine haven't done anything to be waving off the coach. So your thoughts on how often that happens?
Well, I think first, LeBron James, this is what I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard the same thing. He's very difficult to play with. I think coaching-wise, LeBron James doesn't have a lot of respect for a lot of coaches. I think Eric Spoelstra, he earned LeBron's respect. But besides him, you saw the problems with Mike Brown. He had Paul Silas his first year. I'm trying to think of his coaches.
David
Black, and he didn't like David Black. And then T. Lue, they started to have problems too at the end. LeBron is a guy that dominates the basketball. We all know that. We all knew that was going to be a problem. We knew Ball was going to be in a tough situation. We knew Rondo, obviously he's been out, but he was going to be in a tough situation to handle the ball. You got to remember, Luke Walton is not LeBron's guy, and I know it's funny to say that, but when this is where the problem lies at. I blame Magic for this. The day one, when Magic showed up at LeBron's house in July, he came by himself. You don't do that. You come with your head coach. You come with your GM. This is my brain trust. This is our team. This is us right here. You set a bad example. Like, you don't have to deal with Luke. You got to deal with me. That's a bad example. You got to have a coach involved. And if I'm not mistaken, and we can go back and look at the stories, it took him about 2 weeks to even meet with Luke.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yes.
Like after LeBron had committed.
Yeah, it took him about 2 weeks.
They didn't talk quite a bit.
But I'm not surprised that this is what LeBron does. It's a different pressure in LA. I think he knew that. I think he really didn't understand what he was getting himself into. Because if you really look at this team, it's pretty much just like he's got a little bit better talent, but it's the same Cavs team from last year. If you really think about it, he has to put up gaudy numbers for them to win.
You said the same like the Cavs team.
Yeah, last year he put up gaudy numbers
Yeah,
for
I
them to
mean,
win.
I think
Less
these.
shooters.
Yeah, and I think these guys have a lot less experience. Like to say last year, he still had
Well,
Jr. He still had Tristan. He had Corver. Like he had guys who've been there, done that. Like he don't really.
But
have,
I'm just saying the relationship about Luke Walton. I just think Luke is not LeBron's guy.
right.
Whether that's Brian Shaw sitting on the bench, whether LeBron has got somebody else in mind, and him and Magic are trying to figure it out, who they're going to bring in. He's just not his guy. So I don't think LeBron's not obligated to roll with Luke.
So certainly we're not surprised that LeBron waves off Luke. Take me to the bigger picture. Well, first take me to Zach LaVine. Does he have that type of clout or status to do that at that particular critical point of the ball game?
He does not. I think when the coach is calling for a specific pick and roll, maybe a mismatch to get him in a different situation against a bigger guy, I think he has to take that. For him to wave off the coach and do that. See, my thing with a young team and young players is two things that can happen. Internally, I find him internally. You
don't let that ride just off of waving off a pick and roll?
Not if I'm actually to run a pick and roll, that's clearly going to be a mismatch. Right. So now you compound all that, and the reason why it's a difference if he's calling out, but it was very visual. Everybody could see it.
We at the 3-point line, wide open.
Right. Everybody could see it. Very visual. I'm internally fine. I mean that's conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? It would probably be something that Zach could fight, but I would find him. And I'm not petty like that. But when you got young guys and you're trying to establish yourself and you're trying to build something and build a young team, you got to have control of your team.
So in certain situations, can be allowed. Like take us to you in Boston, whether it's Coach Pitino or some of them other coaches. You never waved off a coach before and did your own thing?
No. What I'm going to do, what typically happens is you want the ball in your best hands, the best player's hands.
Right.
And if the coach sees it's already in his hands, the coach stands down.
Okay.
And obviously, it was like 20 seconds when that play kind of started, right?
Right.
He called for the mismatch, the pick and roll.
Should he have called timeout?
Why? You got it in your best player's hands. What if
Okay.
now you call timeout? You can't get in his hands.
Okay.
But I've never waved off the coach. I've had some small spats with coaches, but nothing to the point where I'm disobeying them in the heat of the game.
In all your years in the team, and coaches say, "Hey, we running this, we running stack, we running blue blood." Like you running the play, like you're not like whatever. Coach.
I come down. Only time I've ever just said Paul was hot,
Right.
and the coach may call something else.
Right.
I may, man, we're gonna get it to Paul. Go again.
Okay.
Take over in that type of thing, that
Right.
type of situation. But never, coach call a play. Now we're gonna run something else. Now I ain't never had the balls to do that. I was kind of, and you gotta think. I played for some tough cookies, bro.
Right.
Pat Riley, Rick Pitino,
Don Nelson.
Don Nelson. These Hall of Fame coaches, like they weren't taking that, bro.
Right.
And they finding you immediately. Ain't no waiting around. They finding you immediately, and they putting you out there in the public eye.
Have you ever seen that happen though? Because like to me, players waving off coaches. This is not the first time it happened. Have you seen that happen and a player get fined?
I've never seen a player get fined.
Okay.
The reason why I put fine out there is because you have a young team. You're
Right.
trying to establish yourself as a young. I would consider Fred Herbert, even though he's like his fourth year, but still a young coach. You're you got other young players on the team that you're trying to set an example for. So you want just stuff like that messes up your locker room.
Oh yeah.
It can send bad waves through the locker room.
Because but hold on, like if Zach is gonna do that, then Jabari I can wave you on
Right.
too. Like
It can set off bad ways. So that's why I think Fred. That's why a coach internally, I wouldn't have came out to the media
for sure.
But internally, I would have handled that. Call Zach in. Look, we're gonna fine you. You know what I'm saying? That's conduct detrimental to the team. We're gonna find you right now. We can't have that. I call a play. We got to run the play, especially with the game on the line. Then, if you're gonna overlook me, at least get to the basket. You pull up for a 3-point shot for game. And I think Zach. I don't know Zach personally, but he probably would have had to honor that and respect that. I'm not saying $20,000 fine.
Right.
I'm talking about maybe something sociable, $2,000-$3,000 fine.
But just something to let
something
you know.
to let the team know that hey, This is my team. I'm in control of this.
And it's not like Zach is a great 3-point shooter. Like, the man's shooting 30% from deep, and we in the fourth quarter at the end. He's not great in the clutch. It's one thing if, you on fire that game.
But if he makes the shot,
it's a whole different conversation.
We're not talking about this right now.
True.
But instead, he compounded the mistake by taking a three. The pick and roll was probably the best play because you're going to get a switch with LaMarcus Aldridge, so a person you can go by. It just went all bad for Zach.
And after the game, though, he said, I can live with that shot. Like, I'm the guy, and I'm trying to go for the win, and I need to make that shot. Like, after the game, he didn't even have any remorse. Like, man, you know what? I probably should listen to the coach. I got caught up in the heat of the moment. Like, no, that's not what he said post game.
Yeah.
He was ride or die. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do me.
But both things happened though. But and another thing to get back to LeBron's situation, I just think it's a small sample size. We 20 plus games into the season. I think LeBron James, there's a couple things that's missing on this team. Obviously, he wants a superstar. They're going to probably have to part ways with one of their young talents to make this happen. On top of Luke, you get to All-Star break, and if Magic expectations is to be, 10, 12, 13 games over 500, and they're not there, does he fire Luke Walton? Is he his guy? Because you got to remember, Luke is not Magic's guy. Luke had the job already. Magic hasn't brought in his coach.
Yeah, I do not think that
Everybody
Luke Walton will get fired this season. I think they will give him this one season because this
it depends internally. Like we the expectations. It just depends. We knew this. I like when me and you. We've had from the summertime to both of us felt like the Lakers were going to be really, really good after we seen them in preseason. We kind of liked what they had going, but it kind of goes back to what I thought when it first happened. The Western Conference is a grind every night.
Right.
You ain't no off nights. And you have some of the bottom dwellers in this league that give you good games. I mean, the Phoenix Suns are like 4-16, but they play competitive basketball. They're going to compete. You got the Sacramento Kings, who none of us thought was going to be good. They compete every night. So you get those types of Orlando Magic. We had no expectations for them.
The Grizzlies.
They beat the Lakers twice. The Grizzlies. It's so many teams, and I think that's probably what's caught LeBron off guard a little bit, knowing how tough it's going to be night in and night out to play in this league with those young guys.
But I think Magic would never say it, and LeBron certainly would never say it. I still think they know. Magic and LeBron, they know this is a bridge year. This is a bridge year. That's what this is. When you sign guys to one-year contracts, you're just trying to bridge to free agency till we can get that started.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I did believe that before the season started, but when Magic comes out and says he's not happy with the team performance and kind of pointing the finger at Luke Walton with guys being hurt, I felt like that was not right. That was not the right way to handle that. I think LeBron James waving off Luke Walton, which he's probably going to do 15, 20 more times this season.
That's going to happen.
He's going to do that a lot. But LeBron James, and I told you this, was he going to be willing to adjust his game? Everybody's like, we expect Brandon Ingram don't need LeBron James to get a shot. Kyle Kuzma does not need LeBron James to get a shot. He's not playing with those same type of guys, the J.R. Smiths, the Kyle Korvers, and those guys the last couple of years where he has to drive and kick to them to get them shots. Those young guys can put the ball on the floor. Ball can go get his own shot, can bring the ball to the court, make his own play. That's what they're struggling at. They don't have spacing. To play with LeBron James, if he's going to be dominating the ball 65% of the time, you have to get standstill shooters with LeBron James. So he's able to use his body, get to the basket when he wants to, and he's going to make the perfect pass to the shooters. That's the formula to play with LeBron James. They don't have those pieces. LeBron James is not adjusting his game. It's kind of what we talked about Boston with Kyrie Irving. You have to adjust your game to the personnel that you have. It's not all about you sometimes. You got to adjust your game.
So he need to be off ball more and not
post up, use his body more, post up, give those guys more isolation. LeBron James is one of the best passers, if not the best passer in the league. Could you imagine him posting up 4 or 5 more times with this team? Now, double team comes, you got guys that can slash, they can cut, they can do other things. But when you're dominating the ball 65% of the time, calling for the pick and roll for yourself, them guys, you got them sitting in the corner.
But that's like been a criticism we had of LeBron for a while, that he doesn't
That's why-
make the game easy for himself and going to
But
post.
for himself, but also for us teammates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different. It's like everybody's like, well, they want another star, and LeBron has adjusted really well. He played great with Kyrie, and obviously we know Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. He was good with them. But the next starter coming in, you got to allow those guys to be them too. And I don't think he's allowing these guys to be the best of them. Everybody's like, oh, Brandon expected more from bringing. He's doing what he can. He's playing the best he can play. LeBron James is a tough guy to play with, regardless. LeBron James' defensive responsibilities are a little bit harder this year. He's playing more of a bigger power forward to center position when they play small. Obviously, they picked up Tyson Chandler to kind of stop him from having to play a lot of five. So it's just different. But we're going to see him wave off Luke Walton.
That's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like you said, Magic them got some stuff in their head. I believe Magic knows who he probably wants to coach this team if they decide to go a different direction with Luke Walton. Luke Walton's just in a bad spot, man. He's not Magic's guy, and LeBron probably has very little respect for him.
But you 50-50 whether or not he'll last the whole season.
Yep, I'm 50-50.
I'm 100% he'll
I
last the whole season.
I'm gonna just
100%.
I believe at one point I believe the Lakers was just gonna play the season out and fill it out. But I believe, man, Magic want to win now. I just
Not
believe
with
that.
this damn club, man. Not with Lance Stevenson off the bench and Josh Hart inexperience and
Let me ask you a
Tyson
question.
Chandler. Y'all don't have a team to win in the West
we
now.
can go back and look at this.
Uh-huh.
What's your expectations for the Lakers moving forward now? After you see
Moving forward, because
after you see
on the preview show, I don't have it with me, but I think we both had him like third.
Yeah, I said moving forward.
Like, moving forward.
After 20 games,
Yeah.
what would be a successful season for you for the Lakers right now?
Certainly making the playoffs.
No moves.
Right.
No
Certainly
moves
making the
made.
playoffs.
Okay.
Have to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Have to make the playoffs. And now I do not expect them to be top
So
four.
if they make the playoffs and they lose the first round, you'll be like, you cool with that. And you would say that was a successful season and
Second round, good season for them.
LeBron's got to get out the first round.
Got to get out the first round. You can't go to the finals 8 straight times and then go to the Western Conference and lose in the first round. Second round. And they probably would have to, and I would expect them to be on the road. Like I expect them to be like a 6 seed or a 7 seed. That sort of thing.
Right now.
Yeah, so I don't expect them to have a home playoff game. Maybe like 45 wins, something like that, in the 40 to 45 range. I don't expect them to even be close to 50 wins. Those are my expectations. I pose that same question to you.
I have them at 46, 47
Okay.
wins. I have them losing in the first round.
Wow.
And I'll be okay with that.
Okay. If they lose in the first round, then I definitely think Luke is out of there, bro. He out of there.
Well, I just believe if they don't get home court advantage, it becomes very difficult. We don't know what that top three is going to look like.
Yeah, because if you're the 6 seed,
You're going to play the 3
They're
seed.
the
Yeah.
7 seed right now as it
Yeah.
stands, and they would have to play Golden State in the first round.
Yes.
yeah, but Golden State won't be.
You never know.
Won't be what you call them.
Yeah, number 2.
You never know.
They might.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on up there. They got to stay healthy. A lot of turmoil in that locker room. Inconsistent play.
Steph coming back though. We'll get into that a little bit later. Steph coming back. He coming back this
I
weekend.
mean, cool. I mean, Steph right there, man.
The team runs better with him. It's a better team. I think they 10-2 this year. I think they are 10-2
I'm not gonna
with
argue
Steph.
with you. I'm not gonna. We can talk about that. And I know Steph. You want to get a little Steph in. That's fine.
I mean, we all of a sudden got on the Warriors. All right, let's take a break. Let's take a break. We're going to step aside. Still to come, there was a trade that went down. Kyle Korver going back to a familiar place in the Utah Jazz. And we'll talk about more things that Antoine has seen after the quarter pole of the NBA season. Don't move. SouthSide Heat coming right back. That's how I know Sunday going to be like so breezy. Like we only get 40 minutes. Like, we just breeze through an hour right here. Easy. Yeah,
They got to be like, you
you
got
got
those
those
5, if you got 40 minutes.
Yeah,
It's got to
You got
be
4
good.
topics, 10 minutes apiece.
Conversation just got to be good.
like we breezed through an hour, and we could have kept going. I just wanted to pause.
Yeah, we
It's like
could have. I was
halfway.
going to say, like, okay, like you said, The Bulls got a young team. They're trying to set a culture. Given Fred Hoiberg's record at this point and what he's done, and the fact that now your star just brushed him off and showed you like I ain't really rocking with dude. How long has that been going on? And do you make a coaching change? Because it's obvious that he doesn't have the respect in the locker room. So how can you expect him to play for him?
That's true. But only reason I don't do that with the Bulls, I got to give him a sample size and 100% with Bobby Porter's back, marketing, Chris Dunn.
Because Martin haven't played at all.
I got to give him 20 games to crew and see what's true.
He haven't played at all. He haven't played. But Martin haven't played a single game, bro, at all. And that's one of your top guys. I know Zach is gonna be there, but like he one of your franchise pieces.
What has Fred Hoiberg done to make you believe in him that much, though?
I don't believe in him.
That's what I'm saying.
But we saying though, I can't fire him
should
until I
Zach
see.
LaVine be blowing off Fred Hoiberg? I don't feel like Fred Hoiberg should be calling the play.
But he's still a coach though.
Yeah, but he sucks. Sucks. Like, let's just be real. He sucked before he got there. He sucks now. So it's like, at what point do you be like, okay, this ain't gonna work with him? We got a fresh, new, young core, some real pieces. Let me get somebody in here that's really gonna play for it.
We probably will have to run back that Chloe at Thanksgiving. We probably got to run that back. Like, is she making folks plate, etc.? We probably got to run that back.
I think people like that.
Yeah, it ain't no need.
Trying to chime in on that.
It ain't no need to even just be trying to rack your brain. Like, we probably went 20 minutes on that, and that wasn't even like that was just straight shooting the breeze. She not making no damn plate, bro. It's not happening. I don't think she not making that man plate, bro. It's not happening. That man made his own plate. Huh? No. Thanksgiving or anytime.
Yeah, she making this plate. Man. Y'all ain't gonna convince me of that.
She may make this plate to try to show the same face in front of grandma.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing.
You in front of mama and grandma, and you gonna get talked about like a dog.
Was mama and grandma and them there? Plus, this 2018, man, she got a show.
Just say it. We gonna go at it.
Yeah, we gotta. We can't go the whole 30 minutes, but we end up going 30 minutes.
But we just simple say we gonna be like, man, how we go holiday season? Just kick it out, tee it up that way. We just finish Thanksgiving.
When did she go for Christmas? Is she going to their house?
Whoa,
Is he going to their house for Christmas?
we can take that day a lot of places.
Yeah.
What you get a Kardashian?
Oh,
What you buy a
What
Kardashian?
do you get a Kardashian for Christmas?
For Christmas.
Yeah, like I said, what do you buy a Kardashian? Ooh, that day go with.
But that could be said about a lot of people with money, though. Like, what do you buy somebody that has everything already? You know what I'm saying?
SouthSide Heat, Clement Townsend, Antoine Walker. Be sure to follow us on social media. C Townsend TV on the gram, C Townsend TV. That's Twan Walker 8 on Instagram, Twan Walker 8. Always posting the most inspirational posts. If you need to be a pick-me-up, if you need to be inspired, go to Antoine's feed. Look around you. Appreciate what you have. Nothing will be the same in a year. Amazing changes are coming your way. Trust the process. Are you in Joel Embiid, or is this employee number 8? Whose feed am I looking at?
You know what? You know what I mean? Sometimes, Clement, I just sit around in that crib or smoking me a nice cigar in the cigar lounge. I just reflect on life sometimes, coming across some things that I got to put out there for some people to motivate them, keep them going.
You like to go live on IG. We appreciate you go live for the Southside Heat.
Yeah.
And then I click on you just live at the cigar bar, just
man.
puffing smoke in the damn camera. Like, why I want to tune in live to see you puffing smoke? Tell me that, please.
That shows a little relaxation, man, sometimes. I mean, I like to see, you ain't got your man cave at home, I can tell.
I don't.
See, I would never.
I live in an apartment, so I definitely
I mean, if whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I live in a loft. It's all the same thing. But you gotta have some me time, man. So I got to step out to the cigar bar for a little me time.
You live by yourself. You get a lot of me time. Like, me time is for married folks with children. What you mean? You got me time every day.
Well, I can't smoke in my place. There's no smoking.
Okay.
So the me time, I need to be able to smoke. Give me a nice, glass of. I'll probably go whiskey.
Okay.
Nice glass of whiskey, and have me one, smoke me one, watch the game. Last night I was watching college game, good game.
Okay.
Purdue versus Florida State.
Oh, really?
So it gave me a chance to just sit back, watch the game.
They had the Bulls and the Bucks on. That was a tight game. What's going on?
Well, I cover college too, Clement. So I like to keep myself. I like to be versatile.
True.
I like to be versatile, and also too that was the house TV.
That's
so
what they had.
That's
yeah.
what they had on. So I couldn't come in that thing like put the Bulls on.
But if that's your man Frank, you can ask him what we doing.
No, I wasn't. See, I was at another place. See,
Oh.
you blowing me up.
My bad.
Me up.
Oh, whoa.
You blowing me up, man.
Whoa. You done switched up on.
Nah, Frank is not open yet.
Okay.
We always got to show Frank love. He took care of us when SouthSide Heat first started, baby.
Tessa, that's where it all began.
So we always got love for Frank.
No doubt. Also, we want you to have love for us. We're going to plug it all throughout the show. Sunday, December 2nd, Chicago Theater Works, 7:30. SouthSide Heat, first live show. Tickets only $14, and we going to entertain you.
Yeah, got to make sure everybody come out and check us out. First live show. We excited about it. Should be some interesting topics, man. My mind's starting to go already.
Right, your wheels spinning.
Yeah, we make sure you get your tickets and be on time.
No doubt.
We don't want you to miss the show.
Back to the hardwood, a trade in the NBA. Mm-hmm. The Cleveland Cavaliers have sent Kyle Korver to the Utah Jazz. In exchange, the Cavs receive Alec Burks and 2 future second-round picks. Korver, of course, 37 years old, 16th NBA season. And I would say the Cavs did their best to try to do right by Kyle Korver. There are reports that Korver talked to management and said if LeBron leaves, I don't want to be in a rebuild. I want to go to a contender, or I want to go to a place where I have a better chance to win. Certainly the Cavs have struggled this year, and it seemed like management wanted to see if they could win, and they were keeping Kyle Korver, but finally they decided to send him off. Korver met his wife in Utah. He's been there before. That's a place where, they should make the playoffs and that sort of thing. So seems to be a good move for Korver. We talk a lot of times about players who demand trades like a Kyrie or a Jimmy Butler or a Kawhi Leonard, and they don't necessarily go to a place that was on their preferred list. Mm-hmm. I think Kyle is happy with where Cleveland sent him, and I know the Jazz can use some three-point shooting.
It's a good move all the way around the board. Obviously Kyle Korver handling it like a professional, the way you're supposed to, behind closed doors. I knew something was going to happen with Kyle Korver. If you follow the Cavs and follow the NBA, he was starting to play. He was starting to get a lot of minutes. So I think they wanted him to play. No, before I trade for somebody, I want to make sure he's healthy.
We got to showcase you.
So he wanted to showcase him, and he was starting. They played him to let him know that he was healthy. Good move for Utah, adding another shooter. I think Kyle Korver is one of the premium shooters in the league. The one thing that bothers me about Kyle Korver, never in his stint in Cleveland made the big one. Never showed up when it counted the most. I do love his ability to make shots, but the jury's still out if he's able to make shots when they count. Didn't really make a lot of shots for Cleveland in the playoffs when they really needed him the most, but he was a hot item for shooters in this league. I thought maybe the Lakers may try to get him. I thought maybe Philly would try to add him as well. They need another shooter. The Milwaukee Bucks, it was teams that got championship aspirations. I thought would make a huge run at him. But it's a good move for Utah to add another shooter to their team. And like I said, Kyle Korver has been there before. He knows Utah and knows the community really, really well. He'll fit right in with those guys.
Yeah, and when you look,
he's getting older too, though, so I don't know how much more he's got left in the tank.
Just a few more years. 37 years old.
Yeah. He's making good money too, though. He's making like $7 million a year, I think, for the next 2.
Yep. And the thing about Alex Burks, he got an expiring contract, 11.5. So Cleveland will be able to free that cap space up next year. When you look at Utah, they have been one of the more disappointing teams in the NBA. I certainly have much higher expectations. Below 500 right now. When you look at them, one of the bottom teams in terms of three-point percentage. I just wonder if the league has kind of caught on to Utah. We know defense is their calling card, but now with the freedom of movement rules, you can't really touch guys as much. You know, scoring is way up, and the Jazz scoring is not up that much. I mean, we know Donovan Mitchell is a phenomenal talent in his second year, but who is their second best offensive player?
It's tough. Joe Ingles.
And if Joe Ingles is your second best offensive player, I don't know how far you're going in this day and age when scoring is up so much.
Well, I think you just made a great point. Scoring is up so much, but Utah has to get back to doing what they were good at. That was defending, night in and night out. Donovan Mitchell's had some bad nights offensively as far as taking a lot of wild shots that he didn't take last year compared to this year. One game he took 31 shots.
It was when he had 35.
Yeah, so he's had some nights like that. You know, sometimes started to drink the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
You know, I think with last year, I think he caught everybody by surprise. They was moving the ball. They was more team oriented. Ricky Rubio was making shots last year, which was different. Derek Favors was playing really well last year too, as well at the power forward position. Rudy Gobert's been solid for the most part, but they got to get back to what they do well. That's defending, being a defensive team first, trying to play in the 90s, high 90s if possible.
But it's tough though with the way the game is and teams taking 43s. Like, can you still lock down like that?
Well, you can come down and you run your offense, you run your plays, your sets. You play the game at a pace that you keep the game at your pace. When you trying to play at a pace that when you don't have, I wouldn't say they don't have the athletes, but when you don't have those scoring, like you said, you don't know who's going to score for Utah. So when you don't know who's scoring the basketball for you, you got to play with more of a controlled pace and get the ball to the scores. If it's Donovan Mitchell in the half-court set, if it's a Joe Ingles, you know what I mean? If those are the guys you're going to offensively, get it to them in the half-court set and make it more of a quality shot. But they got to get back to defending.
Yeah, I'm looking at that pace, 21st out of 30, so it's not like they playing up-tempo. It's not like they fast-breaking. It does look like they try to slow the game down, but...
And also, too, to add, they can't catch nobody by surprise. People respect them now. People know Utah plays hard. People know they got a good product on the floor. People know Donovan Mitchell's good. So they can't sneak up. I think last year they snuck up on everybody. The last 2 years, they've actually snuck up on everybody. That's done with them being able to sneak up on teams. So I think you got to put that in play too as well.
I wonder, do they need to make more moves? Because basically, this is the same team. You talk about Favors and Gobert. You talk about Mitchell. You talk about Joe Ingles. Now we added a shooter in Kyle Korver. Do they need to make another move? Jay Crowder, this is his first full season because he came over mid-season in the Cleveland trade.
They have some very valuable pieces. They got some guys that teams would want. But if I'm Utah, if I'm making any type of move, I'm trying to get me another B-list star.
Okay.
I think Donovan Mitchell has some B-list star in him. Eventually one year he'll be an all-star. But you got to get another guy because, let's be honest, nobody's signing in Utah as a free agent.
Probably not.
Nobody's signing in Utah as a free agent. So they're going to have to make a move with a guy who's under contract for the next 3-4 years. You look around, that's when the John Wall thoughts come out, the Bradley Bills. You start thinking about those guys looking at Washington when they make comments like they looking to, air their team out a little bit. So if I'm Utah, that's what I'm trying to look at. I can't look for guys with inspiring contracts. I have to look for another superstar because nobody in free agency is going to sign to Utah. I'm sorry. Nobody's going there.
Yeah, that's just a fact of the matter. That's just how it goes down.
If I was in the league, I don't want to go to Utah. I mean, it ain't nothing to do that, Clement. I at least got to be able to give me a nice steak. Hey,
I would imagine they got restaurants, though.
I'm going to try to give me a nice steak. You ain't ever hear about nobody talking about Utah and getting this nice steakhouse in Utah. No.
Yeah, normally you got to do it through the draft like you did with a Mitchell or Gordon Hayward. Or you just try to acquire somebody in the trade.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a good job drafting, but you're going to have to go out. You may have to put together a couple of those pieces. You got Burke with an expiring contract. You got Rubio.
Well, Burke got traded, though, so he went to Cleveland.
He was the Burke got with the Cleveland?
Yeah, he went to Cleveland. Alec Burks, yeah.
That went over my head. I'm sorry about
that.
Good. But, yeah, they got some pieces to move. Derek Favors, the league has turned to more of a stretch forward league.
Yeah.
You got Jay Crowder over there who's got a very comfortable contract. Jay Crowder could probably fit. You got some movable pieces on that team to be able to add another star. Just not going to be able to do it in free agency. There's nobody going to sign with the Utah Jazz.
Just overall, as I mentioned, Utah, I would say, has been a surprise in terms of how they have struggled. We're about a fourth of the way through the season. Most teams have played 20 games or more. Is there another team that has surprised you, positive way or negatively, or a player and what they have done that has stood out to you about 1/4 of the way through the season?
Ooh, that's a great question. Let me start with I would say player. I would actually the Greek Freak. I mean, this play. I mean, he surprised me. He's taking this game to another level. His team is 15-6. I never had them. I think I had Milwaukee being like a 6th, 7th, or 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. I am totally surprised by them in their development and how they've got things rolling right now in Milwaukee. And this guy has got to be in the top 3 for most valuable players. Might be number 1 if Milwaukee can keep up the pace that they're on right now. If Milwaukee wins 55 games, he'll be the MVP of the NBA. That's how good of a season he's had, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I knew he had potential to be the MVP of this league one day. He stepped to the forefront already. But the Greek Freak is something special.
Rebounds are up, scoring is up, and he's taking more jumpers, and that was the knock on his game. You know, can he develop a jump shot?
Yeah.
Certainly, you know, twos, he's taking more twos, but I've seen him taking threes. Like, he's actually trying to take more threes. Now, he's not shooting well from downtown, but the fact that it shows he's working on that and is trying to implement that game. Like, we talk, Ben Simmons won't even take threes. Giannis is trying to add that part.
Yeah, and I just don't want him to get overlooked because I know he's in a very small market. He doesn't get all the big national TV games, and we got a star in Milwaukee. We got a star.
I think people know him, though. I think people know him.
Yeah, but I just think, you know, we're 20 games in now. I mean, obviously, you know, we want to get to the All-Star break, but he's heavily in that conversation as, like, being the leader right now for most valuable players.
You said top 3 along with?
LeBron James and Joel Embiid.
You put LeBron in an MVP conversation?
Yeah. I mean, I know they lost 2 games in a row, but, yeah, I mean, he's putting up – I mean, his numbers are incredible once again up until these last 2 games that they lost. But, yeah, I had him in that conversation.
More so than Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis' numbers off the charts.
Yeah, but they're not winning. I know.
The Lakers not winning either.
Prior to that, they were 4 or 5 games over 500. They just lost a couple games. New Orleans just now getting back to 500. I know they just getting back. I know New Orleans is one of your teams and, you know, one of your babies from the beginning of the year. But, no, they just getting back into it. Disappointment, it's got to be Chris Paul. You know, another year, more injuries. You sign a huge deal. You handicap the team, and it's not funny.
I thought you was going to say he was handicapped.
No, he handicapped. Well, no.
I thought you said say Chris Paul is handicapped.
I thought he was finna just go right in.
No, you handicap the team, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm for all the players getting their money. That's first and foremost. But you took a max deal. You took $160 million. You took $40 million a year on the books, not to bring your team back, and you not to be healthy. Trevor Ariza leaves for 15. Belamonte leaves. You don't bring your team back. You could have took less money, and I'm not saying you had to take huge money. Just give 10, 15 million back so they can be able to sign these guys and keep your team together. You know, you run Melo out of town. You don't defend Melo. You get him ran out of town. And you know, it's just crazy to me. So I think Chris Paul, to me, has been the biggest disappointment. You can't stay healthy. I mean, every year we're saying the same thing every year.
I remember having this conversation when they was in the playoffs right before he got hurt. I told you, it's always going to boil down to that with Chris Paul. Like, that's the story of his career. If I'm Houston, I'm not offering you $40 million a year. I'm telling you, this is what you can have. I still need to bring these other guys back so we can stay intact, because chances are you're going to get hurt again. I'm not giving you all that money. Somebody else can take that gamble.
I think the owner and Daryl Morey, They wanted to be true to their word. They wanted to be loyal. I don't think they were. I don't think they were dumb enough to sign a contract last year and just had it in a safe. You know what I mean? I know that sounds far fetched, but I mean they were true to their word.
Yeah.
And you gave a 33-year-old guy who hasn't been able to stay healthy the last couple years in his career, and you handicap your team. And now you're struggling. You don't have the same team that you had last year after winning 65 games and expectations being through the roof to win an NBA title. Now you got to fight to hope to make the playoffs. I don't think people are scared of Houston anymore. I think, James Harden can put up astronomical numbers and still lose.
Yeah, that's the
Triple
problem.
last night.
Well, he
That's
has a 40-point triple-double, and then he has a 54-point performance.
Against Washington.
And you still lose. So you're headed back to the same Houston team that was begging to get another superstar with James Harden. And I know Chris Paul's been out, but, I mean, man, this is starting to become, everybody gave Derrick Rose the cold shoulder and said his career was over with. And Chris Paul.
Nah. You can't compare those, bro. I know you can't compare those.
Why not?
Derrick Rose missed full seasons. Full whole seasons.
What's the difference between
What-
missing
Chris
the
Paul
whole
haven't never
season
missed the whole
and
season.
never being
What
there when it
season?
counts?
What whole season did Derrick Rose miss?
After the
ACL
ACL injury, he came back and missed the whole year. Like the whole year after that.
Yeah.
And then there was other
How
seasons
long,
we
how
played
long
like.
does it take for an ACL?
But like he missed 2 whole seasons. Like it was like a get
That's
well
because he
season.
came back
It
and
was like
tore
a-
the other one.
it was
So
like
what is Chris Paul out with right now?
He got a hamstring injury.
Okay then, what did he hurt this summer? What did he hurt in the
In the playoffs.
in the
playoffs. It was-
So you telling me they just gave me $160 million? I'm not gonna go find a specialist. I'm not gonna go get the best trainers. This is where LeBron James wins at, folks. This is where LeBron James wins at. When LeBron James was having back trouble a few years back, what did he go do? What did he go do? He wouldn't have got himself together.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm comparing the situation. I don't know where you get off not want to understand how this thing go. Derrick Rose worked his way back.
He is
Yeah,
back
back.
now, and I'm happy.
Back.
But the injuries of Chris Paul does not compare to the injuries of Derrick
Why not?
Rose.
Exactly.
Why not?
So what's
Because
the
Chris
difference?
Paul has never missed a full season.
But
Derrick
that's
Rose
the-
has virtually
but
missed
Chris
2.
Paul
He's
misses-
missed 2 full years.
Paul
2.
misses
That's
time
not true.
every time you need
I'm
him. So
looking
what's
at
the
it. We
difference?
know Derrick Rose was out for the ACL injury in 2012, 2013. He didn't play at all. And then the following season after that, he played 10 games because that's when he didn't feel good. Remember when Derrick Rose didn't feel confident and he played 10 games. So that's 2 years. That's 2 years Derrick Rose played 10 games. I'm not hating because y'all feel I hate on Derrick Rose. I'm just saying it's not fair to compare Chris Paul,
is fair.
who's had recurring injuries, to
So
guys.
it's cool.
Huh?
It's cool for Chris Paul to get recurrent injuries.
No, I'm saying he hasn't missed full seasons.
So
he
whole
always misses the
years.
crucial time. He's always injured for the playoffs.
25, 30 games is cool.
That's not 80.
Okay.
That's not
So
80.
25, 30 games, missing 25, 30 is cool. That's all I'm asking. Is that cool?
You can't compare the two. To me, that's apples to oranges. It's not a fair comparison.
I'm not gonna wrap it.
25 games to missing 70 and 80. You don't see a difference between 25 and 70? Like, that's all I'm saying.
I'm missing any significant time hurts the team when you're one of the main guys on the team. But Chris Paul has been the most disappointing for me because of one, he's a leader on that team. Carmelo Anthony is one of your best friends. You let them put this on Chris. Let us put this on Melo when you're just as much to blame as James Harden is just as much to blame in this situation. And one, you can't stay healthy. You can't stay healthy. It's starting to be it's the same old song. So he's been the most disappointing to me at this part. And the most besides Greek Freak, the one team that I know I said the Bucks kind of in the same breath because the Bucks was in there, but it's kind of like 2 teams that have kind of like been surprised to me. And this has been the Charlotte Hornets and the Orlando Magic.
Okay.
Very competitive, both hovering around 500. Both have big wins, quality wins early in the season. Expectations were very low for both of these teams not to make the playoffs. And you got a chance right now in the East where both of them possibly can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So those 2 teams are kind of like neck to neck with me. And then a sidebar to kind of sum up the little first 20 games of the season. the Sacramento Kings. You got to give them a lot of credit.
Okay.
Those young guys are competitive every night, winning games, and they have a lot of quality wins on their resume so far in the season that have surprised a lot of people. And their growth and development of their young guys have been really well this year. So those three teams kind of being the bottom of the pack, not a lot of people talked about. All three of those teams hovering around 500 and being competitive night in and night out have been a total surprise to me so far after 20 games.
Yeah, Charlotte and Kemba, they made the playoffs a few years ago. Certainly didn't expect to see him, putting up 60-point nights and the things of that nature.
He's in the MVP running, and he probably won't win it. They won't win enough games.
Right. But no, with what he's done by himself in terms of one of the scoring leaders in the NBA, certainly you have to give him a lot of credit. I would say on the other side, the LA Clippers. I think you got to give them a lot of credit too, because whereas Charlotte has Kemba and he's one of the top 5 scorers in the league, the Clippers don't have a bona fide star. You mentioned Milwaukee, Giannis in the MVP race, but it's kind of like a by committee. Certainly Tobias Harris has been phenomenal this year when you look at what he's been able to do, averaging over 20 points per game, shooting over 50% from the field, over 40% from 3. Lou Williams, we know what he brings to the table, can fill it up, can give you the scoring, and then Danilo Gallinari. And then certainly you put in a guy like Patrick Beverly and even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the rookie out of Kentucky. For them to be one of the top teams, it's still early, but for them to be one of the top teams in the West.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
And everybody talking about the Lakers, and we talk a lot about LeBron and what's happening in the West Coast, but there's another team there, though, in that same market. Yeah. But since they don't have a star, like when you think of the Clippers, there's no name that you can really cling to.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, and it probably, Lou Williams got, obviously Lou Williams should have been an all-star last year.
I agree.
This year he's playing at the all-star level again. I don't know if he'll make it, but he's playing there. The Clippers just to add to that, I agree with you 100%. They may be the number 1 surprise team in the league right now, especially being out west. The thing about the Clippers is they got some interesting pieces. They're going to have some money to sign a big-time free agent. They got some quality veterans already on the roster that are already paid. They can move some. They got some expiring contracts if they decide to mix it up a little bit. Patrick Beverly comes off the books. I think Avery Bradley deal is only 1 year guaranteed. Okay. They got some interesting stuff. They made great picks. Montrezl Harrell, you like him?
Harrell, yeah. You like him?
That's the 2018 Dennis Rodman to me with a little bit more offensive skill.
Oh wow!
With the energy and effort that
that's not a bad comparison.
Yeah, the energy and effort that he plays with. Night in and night out, he gives it you don't see that often in the league anymore.
For sure.
Those type of guys.
And since they lost DeAndre Jordan, who made a ton of money to get production from a guy like Harrell at a much cheaper price.
Yes.
That's huge in terms of you talk about moves to be made and salary cap and things like that.
And I also got to give credit to Gallinari and Tobias Harris. These guys are not household names, but these guys get it done night in and night out. For that team. So, and obviously we know what Lou Williams did. We touched on that. Lou Williams is probably the best.
Straight buckets.
Yeah, they're probably the best 6-man to ever play the game.
You going ever?
Yeah. He'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Because you got Jamal Crawford right now, who's beast.
Yeah, Jamal's there, but he'll be in the Hall of Fame to me. Lou Williams.
Is Lou Williams a Hall of Famer? What he does off the bench. You said ever. And I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think of Vinnie Johnson because he had the name Microwave.
Vinnie, Ginobili.
Ooh, yeah.
Tony Kukoc. There's some guys that flourished in that role that were really, really good. So, but Lou Williams will be in that conversation. Eric Gordon will be in that conversation.
For sure right now.
He's doing it at that level. So, those are the type of guys. But I do agree with you with the Clippers. The Clippers are in a very unique situation, and they're going to have some money. And the way this thing is breaking down, I do believe they're going to be in the sweepstakes for Kawhi Leonard. Unless the Raptors win the championship, and this is for a whole nother day, I don't want to get into it, but unless the Raptors win a championship, I think Kawhi Leonard's going to L.A. You see he just signed
to the Clippers.
Yeah, you see he just signed a big deal with New Balance. So all that stuff, plays a part to me in that. So I just think the Clippers are in a great position right now, financially, as a team. Everything's working in their favor to have one to complete this year, to continue to build on this season, but next season they can be good for the next couple of years because they got good veterans.
For sure.
They got good veterans, and they did very well in the draft. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has been terrific.
I'm thinking about what you said, 6th man of the year, and I looked that up. Kevin McHale won 6th man of the year twice. You know what he meant to those Boston teams. Antoine Jameson only won it once, but you played with him, right? In Dallas, solid 6th man.
Solid 6th man. He was actually 6th man of the year that year we played in Dallas.
Okay. Man, you just got me thinking. Lou Williams, best 6th man ever.
Close. It's close.
Definitely in the conversation.
Oh,
Definitely just
had some good years in Philly coming off the bench too.
Yeah. Won 6th man of the year a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had to put that out there. That's something I had to put out there. Is Lou
Yeah.
Williams best 6th man of the year? You alluded to the Kawhi Leonard, so that's a great transition. I appreciate the segue. They did announce that Kawhi Leonard. I think it's official now. It's official. The numbers haven't been released, but we know he turned down a 4-year deal up to $22 million with Brand Jordan. They say that New Balance offer him significantly more. No details have been disclosed, but they offer him significantly more than $5 million per year. It has not been confirmed whether Leonard will receive his own signature model or simply become the face of New Balance's new basketball shoe. According to industry sources, Leonard and his team have been vetting potential creative agencies to launch and manage his social media accounts. And when it comes to New Balance, they were known throughout the late 1980s with the launch of their James Worthy signature shoe. They last released basketball shoes during the late 2000s. We discussed when like Marvin Bagley and Michael Porter and Terry Rozier and some guys signed with Puma. Okay, Puma, I can see Puma. And I understand, you know, you don't want to just be the 50th guy with Nike. But New Balance, bro. New Balance.
I like the move, and I'm gonna tell you why I like the move. One, they're gonna give him all the attention that he needs.
But do you want do you want attention from the fat ugly girl? Like for real, like the big girl, and I hate to call her fat. My bad.
He's probably gonna get if he turned down $5 million a year. So let's just say he's between $8 and $10 million a year with New Balance. They go to $8 to $10 million a year. I also believe this, and this is my gut.
Yep.
For him to turn that down, and I know most guys like to wear Nike and like to wear Jordan. For him to turn that deal down, I believe New Balance may have gave him a piece of the company.
Huh?
May have gave him a percentage.
Kawhi Leonard?
Why? Yeah, why not? I mean, this is a guy you start your basketball division off with. I'm just trying to think what things that would turn him on to go there.
I hear you.
And I believe also New Balance wants to get back in the game. I think they have an inkling that he's going to go to L.A. in a big market where they'll be able to market him. My biggest problem is that Kawhi Leonard is kind of a dud. He doesn't really have a personality.
That don't make him a dud. He's just not real outgoing.
No,
he's just not real outgoing.
He's a dud. I mean, Kawhi does
kind of make you a dud.
Yeah, he's a dud.
You have to be talkative. You have to have flair.
No, I just think when you get in front of the camera, it's just like, okay, let me ask you. I've seen guys in this business. I've been doing TV now 3 years, so I've seen some of my guys that I played with not be able to make it on TV. It's because one of their personality. Some guys don't have the energy that's needed to be on TV. Some guys don't want to smile, like Kawhi Leonard don't want to smile. He's probably a great teammate. He probably behind closed doors. He probably talked to all the guys. He probably shy in front of the camera. But you got to think about how you're going to be able to market this guy. Is he going to be talking in the commercial, or everything going to be action?
And that's why. How can they offer him a piece of the company because of that reason?
I'm trying to think why would he turn down. I'm putting in my mind, besides the number being just blown out the window.
Right.
What other reasons why would I go with New Balance? They haven't shown me that they have a performance shoe.
Nah.
To make me want to go over there. So all those things plays a part in my thought process. Maybe they're about to come over to this side of the world and really put some money into this. Obviously, when you're going to pay a guy like Kawhi Leonard this type of money, you're going to come over to this side of the world where you're going to change up your sweatsuits. Everybody's into the Euro look, the tight sweats. That New Balance is going to make that now. What are they doing? Are they about to get into the grassroots program and start getting into the urban communities? I mean, we got to figure this out. and they may be just starting this off. It's like Puma. That's what Puma did. Puma jumped in there, but Puma didn't jump in there with a guy like this. We're talking about arguably a top 5 player in this league and a guy who's a top 5 guy for MVP this year. So,
Ooh, it's New Balance. It's New Balance. Like I hear you, just because they throw you money.
Let me just say this.
As much as you got on Steph Curry and the Under Armour, you giving Kawhi Leonard a pass.
Right, let me get up on that. You went and bought some Steph Curry. So if you can go buy some Steph Curry, there's gonna be some people who go buy some New Balance.
That's different. Steph Curry got a personality, right? I mean, can you at least give me that he has some sort of a personality? You're not a fan.
I don't think.
Is he a dud? Steph Curry's a dud.
He's not a dud.
Okay.
But it seems like Steph don't really have a personality. He answers media. He's media friendly. He will talk to the media, but he's not giving killer sound bites. He's not like a guy that's cracking jokes. He's a guy I think people fell in love with because of his daughter. He played off that, bringing her to the press conferences.
Oh, come on, bro.
That's true though.
Nah.
It's true. They fell in love with Riley.
I think his wife got the cooking going on and his daughter. But
His
to say
wife has more personality.
to say they fell in love with his daughter, I don't agree.
They
I don't agree.
They fell in love with his daughter. They did.
During his rise to stardom.
First of all, I'm old school. You don't bring your kids to the podium.
He not the only person that's done that.
Derrick Rose did it first.
First
Right,
of all,
I'm saying.
I'm at work.
Right.
I'm at work. When I finish my media, then I get with my kid. So let's stop there. No, but guess what? My wife hold my daughter till I finish my job. Let's start with that.
Well, that helped his marketability.
But no, he just told me it didn't. Then after the first time, everybody fell in love with her. She took over the press conference. Next thing you know, she was there again, and she was there again. So you can't tell me that's him.
But he was already on. He was already on. Like that, he didn't get put on because his daughter came to the press conference. He was already on.
It made him more
I'm sure he'd already be MVP by then.
He got put on because he's a great 3-point shooter.
Right.
Let's keep it real.
Okay, all right then.
But
So we didn't
more
fall.
likable.
Is Steph Curry a top 5 point guard to ever play the game?
He has that potential.
No.
He has that potential.
No, he's the best
greatest shooter of all
period.
He has that potential.
His conversation stops right there. When you talk about basketball, Steph Curry, great shooter, stops right there. Nothing else added. Nothing else you can add. Not a great passer. Turnover machine. Let's
the
keep
book
real.
is not closed though. Like
Okay,
his
then.
career is
Well, the
still
book's
going
about
on.
to close.
But as a
That's a
point guard.
How is the book about to
As a
close?
two-point
Because Kevin Durant will not be there. The book will be closed on Golden State.
Stop it, man. Stop it,
Whoa.
bro. The man is only 30 years old, bro.
Whoa.
He's only 30. They
Kevin
won a title.
Durant-
They won a title before Kevin Durant.
And they knew they couldn't. They would never win another one with him.
Well, if Draymond don't get suspended that second time when they won the 73
Man,
games,
listen, man. If
they had the title in their
listen,
hands.
It was up 3-1.
if Chris Paul don't tweak his hamstring for the 15th time, they
said 15 times though. That
but I mean,
once.
if was a fifth, we'll both be drunk. So listen, man. Curry's a great player. He's been great for the league. He brought the game to a different dynamic. He's got 17 NBA teams shooting 45 threes. He's a part of that reconstruction. But when you talk about top 5 point guards, that's if they ever play the game. Steph Curry will not be in the top 5 point guard.
All right. We could go back and forth.
But I know
on
that's
that.
your man.
We can go back and forth on that. But you think it's a good move for Kawhi with New Balance?
Great move. Anytime a player can make that type of money, $8-10 million off the floor per year, it's a great move.
And we wasn't gonna give it to him,
right? And we don't know the numbers though. I don't think it was 10.
And
I think 10 is a bit.
I said I'm figuring 5, so I'm thinking to go from 5, you got to get it to 8 to 10 from a budge. I mean, you had offered 5 with a shoe you probably really want to wear.
He was at 4 for 22. Yeah, so that puts you at like 5.5. I think.
Right, so I'm gonna put him at 8. I guarantee you the number's gonna be significant, and if the number's not significant, where it's $8 to $10 million, it's a piece. It's a back end to this deal. He's not signing with New Balance just to sign with New Balance.
Right.
It's a back end of this deal. Like you said, I ain't buying no New Balance.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Is
Like-
Kawhi Leonard gonna make you buy something from New Balance?
Like we talked about Steph, because Steph changed the game, you just agreed that teams are shooting a lot more threes because of Steph Curry.
Yeah.
The way he
But
plays
also-
changed the game.
But I also believe that New Balance is trying to get back in the game like Puma.
Right.
You know, they've allocated millions of dollars to try to see if they can get back in the game and make a run at it. this is the first signing. I think this is an excellent sign. You get a top 5 guy. I think the perception is that Kawhi Leonard's going to go play in L.A., a big market. And I think I think New Balance is banking on that. I think they believe that he's going to go play in a big market, and they got a guy on the floor playing on national TV in their shoe. And they're going to probably be very active in this upcoming draft and adding some more pieces to their team. But I can't wait till the final numbers come out and the details of this deal, because I guarantee you, for him to pick New Balance, the money had to be significant, and it's got to be a back-end deal to this, maybe, where he's getting some type of ownership or something. The marketing strategy had to blow him out the water.
Yeah, I just want to know who is their target demographic. Like you said, you're not buying the
Right,
shoes.
no, but I'm just saying.
I'm not buying the shoes.
They probably have to get back into the grassroots. This is another thing.
Guys from around the way not buying the shoes.
Well,
Folks that I know on the south side not buying the shoes.
Well, they may have to get back into the grassroots aspect of things and start getting into the AAU market, getting the shoes get the kids the shoes, get them wearing the shoe, trying different products for the performances. But I mean, New Balance has been around a long time, so we know they know what they're doing, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to put this type of money into Kawhi Leonard without having a bulletproof plan to see if it can work.
I don't even remember James Worthy shoes. You remember that? I don't even remember that. Like they said, James Worthy had a signature shoe back in the 80s.
I wore Converse, man, when I was little. When I got to college, we had a Converse deal.
You told me at Kentucky y'all wore Converse.
We wore Converse. So, and then when I went pro, I worked out in Nikes when I trained for teams, and then I got my Adidas deal right before the draft, and then I've been Adidas ever since.
You got your deal. We had talked about your deal, but you got your deal before you even signed, before you got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to your agent for getting that done, bro. Like, no, straight up. Like, you haven't even played an NBA game.
Let me give you this real quickly, the backside of how I got my deal. Now, I was in the AAU market coming up. This is why AAU basketball is so huge, and that's why it's back on the market. We were an Adidas team.
Okay. What team was this?
Mac Irvin Fire.
You're a fire guy. You're a fire guy.
Right. So we were Adidas program. So by us being Adidas program, that's who we got shoes from. At this time, Sonny Vaccaro ran Adidas basketball.
Right.
So Sonny would send me shoes throughout the season. That's where I get all my product from. It's from Adidas. I played in Adidas basketball camp. I played in Adidas the AAU tournament.
Did you play ABCD? Was that big?
Yes.
ABCD was the business back in the day.
So I played in all the big camps and everything. I played in the Magic Johnson, the Magic game, which was Adidas had.
Okay.
McDonald's All-American game. So I played in all the games where Adidas kind of controlled.
Right? Yeah.
Obviously, I go to college. We wear Converse. But while I was in school, Adidas still sent me stuff.
So you had that relationship.
Yeah. So I had a relationship.
So you would wear Converse during games, but could you practice in Adidas?
No.
Or you still had
walk around,
Just
go
walk
to class and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I would do that, and then so when it was time for me to go to the league, so I'm like, man, it's my sophomore year. We win the title. I'm waiting. I'm like, man, I want to go pro. Walter McCarty and Tony Delk and Mark Pope were seniors. Walter McCarty and Tony Delk came on campus.
You told me, with the trucks.
With them Range Rovers.
With the trucks. I know.
I said, man.
Time to go.
So my best friend at the time, I called him and said, man, look, I think about going pro. He was like, man, call Sonny, and Sonny can let you know. So I picked up the phone. I called Sonny Vaccaro. I said, hey, Sonny, I'm hearing, that I could possibly be a first-round pick. You got to know, you guys got to put your mindset. It was no social media back then, so it's harder to get all this type of information. He was like, well, Antoine, I don't like to advise kids to come out early, but I'll check into it. So 48 hours later, Sonny Vaccaro calls me back and says, hey, you're a first-round pick. You're a lottery pick. Shit, I called my mom. I'm like, hey, Mom, I think I can go pro. She's like, you sure? So I immediately go over to the coach's office, meet with Rick Pitino. He's not there.
Right.
Rick Pitino's not there. They call him. He tells me, look, I'm going to come to your house. You're going to come to dinner at my house, and we're going to talk about this. So another 48 hours goes by. I go to coach's house. I'm just getting ready for him to tell me that, boy, you ain't ready for the NBA.
Right.
What, you crazy? He was like, Antoine, I got to let you go. He was like, you're going to be a lottery pick, and I'll be doing you an injustice to keep you here any longer. So I'm going to let you go pro. So I'm ecstatic. I go pro. I'm going pro. So he was like, listen, I'm going to help you get your agent. I'm going to help you with all the processes. And I just kind of started from there. But once I put my name in the draft, Sonny called me back. Remember I told y'all to keep the story. Sonny ran Adidas basketball. So Sonny offered me a $500,000 deal a year. I'm like, I ain't never heard these type of figures before. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to sign. So they just sent me shoes. I hadn't picked my agent yet to do the deal. So I ended up picking David Falk as my agent. Long story short, David Falk and Sonny Vaccaro, if you ever watched the 30 for 30, they fought over Michael Jordan.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, so anybody know that story, that's a real touching story between those two and about Michael and everything, because Sonny had Michael first.
Right.
Anyway, so when they had each other, so Sonny and David gets into a heated discussion. They go crazy, they argue. They ain't even arguing about me. They ain't arguing about Michael Jordan, man. But Sonny takes the deal off the table. And there was a lady that worked for Adidas that sat in the meeting named Susie Laserbeam, and she felt so bad for me that I had to, one, listen to this argument that was not about me, and then my deal get taken off the table.
Right. Over
Time
something
out.
that had nothing to do with you.
What?
Sonny didn't want to do the deal because David Falk was getting the commission on the deal.
Oh, because he had
He
beef
wasn't
about the
picking up
Michael
money.
Jordan
Right.
deal. He like, I don't want to do a deal with you and Antoine.
Right. So
But you say, like, is this in a meeting? Because you
this
said
is
you had
in
to
a
listen.
meeting, like we're like in a meeting. It's like
You there? Listen, all
I'm
three.
listening
Like
to
this
all
not
this.
conference call. Nothing.
This a meeting. I'm in the meeting. I'm in the
Where we
room.
at? We in Chicago? We in New York?
No,
We
I'm
at-
in Kentucky. We in the meeting. So he takes the deal off the table. Couple days go by. She makes her impact, kind of tells them, look, y'all shouldn't have this kid in between this. They called me back. On top of giving me my deal back, they gave me $250,000 more.
So he's like, I give you 700.
Yeah, gave me $750,000.
You like, appreciate it, Mike. Mike never knew he put an extra
Shout out to
200,
MJ.
an extra quarter of a
So
million in your pocket.
that's how my little shoe deal went. But the thing about
750,000, bro. Little shoe back in the day. That's cheap.
But
I
you
take
got-
750,000 right now.
what you got to think
Little.
about, it was me, Kobe. Kobe got drafted that year.
Right.
Me, Kobe.
We know. Iverson, yeah.
Iverson was Reebok.
Right. I thought you were just saying
I'm
guys
just
got
saying
drafted.
with
who's
Adidas.
Adidas guy.
Right.
Tracy McGrady.
He was Adidas?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was like four of us, Tim Thomas. It was like 4 or 5 of us. They kind of built this thing around. So that's what I'm trying to say about Kawhi Leonard. What New Balance is going to do.
He might be the first
He's
guy.
going to be the first guy, but they're going to be heavily in this draft. They're going to probably go after Zion and RJ Barrett. They're going to go after those guys.
Maybe Bowl.
Bo.
I don't know if he gonna get some shoes though, bro. I don't know if he buying 7-footer shoes.
So they're gonna bring those guys. They're gonna go after those guys. So to get the first one, you got to step up and do something special for that first one to kind of kickstart it.
Right.
And you talking about a guy who's up for MVP this year. I mean, Kawhi Leonard's having career numbers right now, and that team is at the best record in the league.
Could be in the finals.
He could be in the finals. So, and I think deep down, New Balance think that he's going to that West Coast too. So he's gonna be in a very marketable place. I mean, look at Puma. Puma just got heavy in the draft.
Yeah.
And they took a couple veterans. They took the Rudy Gays of the world.
Rozier signed with him.
Rozier. They signed a couple of veterans.
And I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Cousins signed with
and
him.
you know what's crazy is that, and you talk about your boy Steph, Under Armour came in with a lot of money too. They gave it to Steph, but I'm not sure the numbers, but I think Under Armour has struggled to continually sign players. They probably only got like 12.
In the NBA.
Yeah.
It's funny though because they got a lot of good guys. Like they got Brady, they got Cam, they got
Football.
Jordan,
It's football.
but they got Jordan Spieth in golf. You know what I mean? Who you watch golf, like they have some high end players. They don't have a lot, but they got high end players.
Mm-hmm.
So like how you saying, can you get that guy? You would think if we got a Steph, if we got a
Right.
Spieth, if we got a Cam, we can get other guys. But like you
But
said,
I think Steph's shoe just got better. We talked about that.
For sure.
At first, in the beginning, it was not a good looking shoe, and I think what all these shoe companies gotta realize is that Michael Jordan, why Jordan is winning, is guys wear them with their clothes.
Right.
They're not looking
not
at that shoe
strictly-
as a performance
right,
shoe.
exactly.
They're looking at that shoe to wear with their clothes. And I think that's where a lot of these companies, like LeBron's shoe is a basketball shoe. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
that's a
guys seen
basketball
LeBron. It's a basketball shoe.
Yeah.
It's not a shoe you necessarily wear with your clothes and wear with your outfit. Under Armour hasn't made a shoe that really wear with your clothes and outfit. Think about it. Puma gonna win because people wear Pumas with their jeans.
Yeah.
People like the basic Puma look, the clean cut Puma look, the all white Puma. People like that. Puma's gonna win in the urban community with that.
Yeah.
You know, New Balance, I don't know. I know we know New Balance, people buy them to work out, people like their performance to run track. Are they
Well,
going?
who's New Balance's core demographic though? Like
I don't know. That's why I
That's
say.
like-
But y'all saying they may be hiring a whole new division. They're gonna have to get into grassroots.
to.
If they're gonna get into basketball, they're not getting grassroots. I mean, y'all have heard the rumors that Kanye's coming out with his own basketball shoe.
Oh wow.
The Yeezy's coming out with his own shoe. So I mean, to get in this, you gotta get in this market. But think about it. People wear Yeezys with their clothes.
For sure. True.
So if those are the companies those are the shoes that are selling when people can wear them with their clothes. If not, these kids are not going to buy them. They're going to get a basketball shoe. Of course, they're going to do that. But they don't care about that. They're trying to see what's going to look good with this outfit, with these skinny jeans. They're trying to see how can I wear these skinny jeans and be nice.
All right, it's almost time to get out of here before we do, though, cosign or decline. You know
Yeah.
the drill. I give a topic. If you agree, cosign. If not, decline.
Yep.
We were just talking about Kawhi Leonard, so that's a perfect segue to stay with the Toronto Raptors. The NBA assist leader is none other than
Kyle Lowry.
his teammate, averaging more than 10 assists per game. Cosign or decline, Lowry will finish the year as the top assist man.
Co-signing, I believe he is. I think they got good chemistry. I think he's adjusted his game, and when he was playing with DeMar DeRozan, he knew he needed to get to 20 points a night. It's kind of the adjustment I talked about, what Kyrie Irving needs to do with his team, become more of a playmaker, get other guys involved. Kyle Lowry's done that. He has other scores on his team. Serge Ibaka has picked up his scoring tremendously this year. Kawhi Leonard. They've got some guys, C.J. Miles. They got guys that can score the basketball. I think he's going to stay there. I think he's going to lead the league in assists.
That's a lot to ask. I'm looking at his highest assist total. Looks like 7.4.
But that's the
right
thing.
now
Every
he's
year,
over 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every year, and we talked about this, I say you got to make adjustments to your game. Kyle Lowry has made those adjustments, and that's why he's leading the league in assists. And I believe he's going to continue to lead the league in assists. And, Toronto Raptors on their way to a 60-win season, so he'll definitely get there.
When you look at three-point percentage, we talk about how the NBA has changed, teams taking over 43s per game. One player who has improved his three-point percentage the most from their career to this year is Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, a career 30% three-point shooter, shooting 48%. 48% this year. Cosign a decline. D Rose will finish the year over 40%.
Cosign. He will definitely finish over 40%. And not because I'm biased, and everybody knows I love Derrick, and I'm so proud of him this season. But the thing why I believe he will goes back to what you said. The time off, man. When you off that, you shoot number spot shots. You in the gym shooting so much. When you just around, you could tell he's put the work in at the three-point line. You tell he's added something to his game. He may not want to go dunk on you anymore, but now he's got the ability to make his jump shot. I remember back when this MVP season, we were like, man, Derrick, if Derrick ever get that jump shot right, he'll be dangerous. Derrick Rose is a premier point guard in this league. Now, whether or not he stays six-man or a team gives him the ball again, I don't know that. Obviously, that's going to be based off his health and people saying if he could play 70, 75 games a season. And we got to say, remember, he's only 30. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. I believe he's going to do it.
40%.
I believe it. I believe he's put the work in. I think that's a part of his DNA now. I think that's part of his game.
We talk about why don't you just get better?
And you know why? You know why I like it?
Yes.
Because it's not 2 attempts. You know what I'm saying? Every night it's like 4 or 5.
He averaging 3.7 attempts per game.
See, he's doing 4 or 5 now. So when you start shooting 4 or 5, that confidence level is high. I mean, he ain't at my stats where I'm shooting 7, 8 a night. I used to shoot 7 to 8 a night and get criticized, but no.
But that's a 10% increase in his three-point shooting. Right now, he's shooting 18% better. That's amazing.
But that's what we talked about. I think everybody. That's what I said. That's the funny part. We always say, man, they need to do something with this team. What about the players you already paying that money to getting better? And Derrick is a prime example of that. A guy getting better and putting in that work. So you got to give him a lot of credit. One, getting his body together, getting his quickness and explosiveness back, and one, getting his jump shot together. Hopefully we're looking at they're starting to get it together now as a team. Hopefully we're looking at a guy who's up for
6 man of the year.
6 man and most
improved.
improved.
We'll see. That's something definitely that we could talk about. Finally, co-signer decline. Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic will be an all-star. You mentioned Orlando, one of the surprising teams. He averaged 21 per game, career high, 11 rebounds, career high,
Yes.
41% from downtown.
I co-sign. I believe he's having if I look at the guys that have made it in that spot, the Al Horfords, I think he's having a much better year than Al Horford. The team is winning now, at least hovering around 500, playing much better basketball. I think this will be his year to be an all-star, and he deserves it. He's been your guy for the last couple years. You've been talking about him low-key on how good he is, but it's time for him to get his just due. He's one of the stars in this league.
6 in the NBA in double-doubles, playing in Orlando. You mentioned like Giannis doesn't get a lot of attention when you play for Milwaukee. Like, you don't get a lot of attention playing in Orlando, but I would have to agree that he'll be an all-star, and I think it's a contract year for him.
Yeah,
so,
and he's underrated, and he actually was paid, got decent money, and now he's going to get an opportunity to break the bank, and I think making the all-star team is going to solidify that.
That certainly will help. I'm sure his agent is feeling pretty good right now about what they might be able to do out there on the free agent market. Well, you know where to find us.
Man, let's get it going, man. We got to talk about this before we get off the air now. December 2nd, Sunday night.
Get your tickets.
Live show.
$14.
Man, I've got to be worth 14. Man. I mean, I'm 6'9", I'm cute in the face.
I can't wait for this, man. I'm excited, man.
I got to be worth $14. Come see me in person.
I'm super excited, man.
I mean?
I've been texting my people. I know you've been texting some folks. We got to do some more Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, next couple of days, man.
You know what it's all about. I've been doing a countdown. As we tape on Thursday, we 3 days away. Yeah, 3 days away. So, man.
Excited about it, man. Come check us out, man. Like I said, you get a fresh look at me, man. I might get a haircut, make sure my beard on point, all that. Get a chance to get a good glimpse at me, man. 6'9", cute in the face. Yeah.
Shout out to the Chicago Podcast Festival, because we are part of the Podcast Festival. I think they have about 20 plus, maybe 25 podcasts. I'll be checking them out too. Shout out to Alternative Facts Chicago. They will be doing their podcast as well before us, man. So it should be a good time. You know where to find us: iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Wherever you can find your podcast, you can find the SouthSide Heat. And we will be back next week. Thanks for rocking with us.
Yes, sir.